Jazz 88.3 and the new Jazz Thing. Music there from Jamie Shadowlight and David Carano there, putting on and previewing some music from an upcoming gig this Sunday at Anthology. So Jamie, tell us a little bit about how you got involved in the music of Jimi Hendrix and why that music is kind of what you're featuring with this setup this coming Sunday.
Well, I started off as a street musician, I guess traveling around playing with a lot of everybody I met. Any person I met, I would try to play with them. And back then, I really, just the spirit of those times, I really love the vibe. And to me, it's just love, it's just pure love. And when I got this electric violin, which is pretty recently, within this year, I started playing with a percussionist named Monette Marino Gaeta. And she had me on these songs where I'd have to play really funky, so I'd bring a wah-wah pedal. I had a Crybaby back then. And so that got me into the pedals, and I figured, well, once I got into the electric thing, might as well, start playing some different kind of standards. And with these guys on Sunday, we're going to explore that. And I've been working with this amazing keyboard player named Mikan Zakovic, and he's just expanding these quarterly, idea-wise, and I'm really looking forward to playing.
Well, so Jamie, you've been here, I don't know exactly how long you've been in San Diego, because we've just kind of gotten acquainted with each other just recently. Tell us a little bit about your history in music. How did you start playing? And then let's talk a little bit about you in San Diego.
I started off when I was about 5 years old, and I started playing classical music. And I was, I won the Bach Festival and concerto competitions.
Where did you grow up?
I grew up in Los Angeles. Partially in Chicago, but then moved to Los Angeles, born in Korea. And when I was 18, I had enough. It was enough structure, it was enough, notes that were written. And now I can see the beauty of it. I really love, I go back and I play Rachmaninoff. I love classical music, I love Bach. But I needed a break from then. I needed to find my music. I needed to find some kind of expression that spoke for my soul. And becoming a street musician was the best start to that. So then I moved to San Diego, and I just started playing with the players in town. Amazing mentors along the way: Gilbert Castellanos, Daniel Jackson, Marshall Hawkins, Charles McPherson. And each one of them, every musician I meet, I tried to learn something. David Carano, Joey Carano, the whole Carano family, so with that, I'm still evolving, and I'm trying to learn from everybody I can. That's all.
So how did jazz come to be a music that you kind of pursued? Was it through that street performing that you got introduced to it, or how did that happen?
Well, I guess, no, I got introduced into the jazz world through playing with those players I just mentioned in town. I'm more of a contemporary violinist. I feel like such a fledgling in the world of jazz. It's like, I just love it. I think of jazz as a part of every music, and after a while, you just need to expand your vocabulary.
Right. It was interesting as you were talking about the vibe of the music that you're playing here on Sunday. This the Hendrix music, and that made me think though about what I see of you as I kind of follow what you're doing on Facebook, and as people tell me, you seem to be in lots of different places, playing with lots of different people wherever you can. That learning part seems to be a big thing for you, learning on the job and playing with lots of people.
I'm open to playing anything. I just recorded some Indian music. Not native Indian, India. And I played with the Iraqi choir, and I just love it all. All of those are pieces. They're like little flavors that help add color to your expression.
Well, David, I want to talk with you just a little bit there too. Jamie kind of touched on the fact that there's in San Diego there's the Carano family legacy, because we've heard your brother's name, Joey, a lot. I guess I take it he's your brother, right?
He sure is.
And so tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got introduced into music, and how your family kind of plays into that.
Well, it's a simple story. My dad had a pawn shop, so there's always guitars laying around. And my oldest brother Mike, who also plays, and nobody really knows that, my whole family plays, he got us all into playing guitar. My sister, I'm not really sure why, decided she was going to play the drums. And so me and my brother and my oldest brother, Joey, Mike, we all play guitar. We're guitarded, you know. And my sister plays drums, and you know, occasionally we play together, and we all get along really well, and we sort of all venture into different avenues. You know, I have a jazz approach to some things, but I'm no straight-ahead player like my brother. You know, and that's his thing that he does, and we all kind of, I think, growing up around music, we all kind of found our own place. But you know, and I get along with everyone so well in my family. And my brother and I played together for years. It's been a couple of years since we've done anything together, but you know, that's basically it. My dad had instruments laying around, and we decided to play them. And my family, my mom and dad, were super supportive of it. They didn't push it on us. You know, hey, should I practice? I don't know. Do you want to get better? That's what they would say. You know, and so we all just found that as our you know, ointment.
So how did you?
That was an odd word to use. Our medicine, you know, and so that's.
Well, guitarded too is kind of a weird.
That's a little wrong, right?
No, nothing's wrong. Not at all.
I actually met their father before I met them because I pawned my violin at their store. That's how I met them. That was way back when.
That's an interesting way to get introduced. So David, do you play around town in regular ensembles?
I do. I play often with a bunch of different bands. I just recently, like she said, me and my fiance opened a music store actually in the other half of my dad's pawn shop, so that's taken a lot of time. And that kind of pushed me in the zone where I'm really trying to explore my own writing right now. And so, ironic to the name, I have a new project called The Narcissist, which is basically a recording project that revolves around me. I just recently did my first one. I had drummer Cliff Almond play on it, which was a pleasure to have him. And then I have a band called Cookie, which is sort of a fusion band, but essentially to describe it, it's kind of a rock band. And that's, my sister plays drums in that band, so that's neat, and then a couple of old friends. And I play with a handful of bands around town occasionally. I could start naming them off, but that's, lately I've panned off on doing any gigs for anyone else. I'm just trying to do fun stuff with music that doesn't revolve around money, so.
Excellent. So is there a place where folks can find out more about you, website or?
There will be a website called narcissist.com, and you know, the idea is not to be a narcissist. It's not really that I'm a narcissist, although I am. But
no one has that. Do you own narcissist.com?
No one has it. And I'm in the process of getting it in the next couple
of days.
So. Just yeah, but someone's gonna get it.
The price just
so
went way up.
It's kind of just a play on words to kind of get me over even having something that revolves all around me. But the idea is there's people all over the place. You know, Robert Walters, a good friend of mine I played with for years, and one of my hands down favorite players. And I want to play with him, but I'm not. I have a kid now. I don't want to leave town. And I started this by talking to him. He said, I'd love to do some recording. So now I'm just going to hand pick all these different people I cross paths with, Jamie, Mikon, and all these people. I want to get them on this recording project. And we video all the projects and all the recordings. So you can go on, and it's not like a expressive video. It's just the people sitting in the studio playing their parts. A reality you can kind of touch and feel. And I'm very excited about this project, although it's only at phase, you know, 0.1 right now. But
excellent.
So that's something to look out for. And then Cookie is my band.
Excellent. Look forward to hearing some more of that. So, so Jamie, tell us a little bit about other things that you've got going on. We've got this date coming up on Sunday, and can you tell us some of the? We've talked about Hendrix. You're playing some other compositions other than Hendrix tunes, correct?
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about the repertoire that people are going to hear when they show up at the gig on Sunday.
Well, we're going to do a couple Led Zeppelin tunes. We're going to start off the evening with the classic tune called Kashmir. But we're going to take it back to India. And we have this 9th generation Indian musician named Rahis Khan. And he plays tabla. So we're going to start with that. We're going to do Black Dog, Stairway to Heaven, A Whole Lot of Love, a Jeff Beck tune called 'Cause We've Ended as Lovers. It's actually a Stevie Wonder tune, but Jeff Beck had the definitive version. And a Santana tune that my man John Paul Jones actually did the cover for. It's an album called Ziba, and it's a song called I Love You Much Too Much. We'll be playing it.
So, so then tell us. I wanted to touch a little bit on. You're not just a musician, but you're also a graphic artist, and you do some of that work too. Tell us a little bit about that side of you.
I do. I'm what you call an independent, I guess, because I work for myself. So I do a little bit of everything. You know, I play music, I do sessions, I teach, I do graphic art for a lot of the musicians, mainly for musicians, but also for anybody who needs design. I'll also detail your car and clean your kitchen. You can contact me about that later.
That is very independent.
Yeah.
So is there a place where people can find out more about you and get connected with you?
Well, on Facebook, you can look up Jamie Shadowlight, or you can look up Shadowlight22.com.
Okay, great. So we're going to end this with another tune. So tell us what we're going to be hearing.
This is called The Third Stone, Third Stone from the Sun.
Excellent.
Third Stone from the Sun.
Jamie Shadowlight and David Carano with us this evening in studio here on the New Jazz Thing.